Hello there. So now I'm going to give you a sample of chapter 7, first from the summary and the introduction, and then from the chapter itself. And we'll just go from there. So, chapter 7's summary in the introduction goes as follows. In chapter 7, as the ring-shattered state of Gollum's identity reveals itself to Sam through the competing intentions of the Smeagol will and the Gollum will, both of which lust for the ring, we also see fractures beginning to manifest in Frodo's identity. Frodo becomes cruel to Gollum at times, threatening him with the ring and taunting him that he will never get it back. Neither Sam nor Frodo yet grasps the transformation Frodo is undergoing, since he is still enough himself to rebound to kindness after cruelty, and to play the role of Gandalf in urging Faramir not to put Gollum to death as he deserves. Okay, so that's the summary of what's in chapter 7. Now, if we kind of go through here through the Black Book of Brooklyn and work our way forward to chapter 7. Okay. Seem to have lost my place here. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is from a section called Judgments in Ithilien. And as I said, it's in chapter 7. If much of what we have seen in the first 3 chapters of Book 4 traces a descent for Frodo, the next 3 will show his path turn upward again. For the pity he showed Gollum is Frodo at his best, and confirms Gandalf and Bilbo's good opinion of him. Soon, though, and in the name of his quest, he uses the ring to dominate a Gollum whom he would not kill and could not set loose. With use, the burden of the ring increases until in doubt and despair he terrorizes Gollum with the threat of what he, as master of the precious, would compel him to do if it came to it. This is Frodo at his worst. His vaunting of his possession of the ring and his power over Gollum here is a little different than Boromir's boast of his superior strength when he tried to seize the ring. That neither Boromir nor Frodo can make good on his threat reveals once more the deception at the heart of any experience of the ring. The green memory of the Shire, stirred by Sam's recitation of Oliphant in the choking wasteland before the Black Gate, marks a turning point. It allows Frodo to reclaim some of his humanity, and with it some small hope. For his wish that the third time may turn the best is for more than the transactional trust that has subsisted between him and Gollum thus far, an outcome possible only if they also find Smeagol, and Gollum reclaims his humanity. Parallel to Frodo's ascent in these chapters is his departure from, quote, the desolation, unquote, outside the Black Gate, and entry into the, quote, disheveled dryad loveliness, unquote, of, quote, desolate, unquote, Ithilien. No one who has read The Lord of the Rings with the least attention needs to be reminded of this shift we see in the 2 phrases just quoted. From a wasteland where nothing lived to a garden where no one lived. Tolkien's remarkable selection of the word dryad here evokes the imminent loveliness of the land by conjuring the reader's understanding of the minor deities who lived in the woodlands of Greek mythology, For the Old English for dryad was alfin, and the narrative has been hinting at fairy tales for some time. Thus, the relief and recovery Frodo first experienced on hearing Sam recite Oliphant will continue into Ithilien. But there are no elves in Ithilien. To Frodo and Sam, its woodlands smell of the Shire. That is, they smell of home, unlike the similar woods through which Bilbo passed on his approach to Rivendell 80 years earlier. For the first time in quite a while, the hobbits' hearts are lightened. Sam and Frodo also feel themselves, quote, reprieved, unquote, by being there. Another remarkable choice of words. Tolkien uses reprieve only here, at the beginning of a section that ends with another, more formal reprieve, as Faramir and Frodo revisit the question of Gollum's deserts. And in fact, Faramir spares Frodo and Sam the full weight of the law of the land. For even to walk in Ithilien earns death for those not in Gondor's service. It is a measure of the horrors from which they have just emerged. The two hobbits of the benignly anarchic Shire do not see this situation as the world turned upside down. Yet it is just such a world. Here, Sam prepares a bit of home cooking for Frodo as he sleeps just uphill from the horrific scene of an orc meal. Though the narrator never says what kind of creatures' remains these are, the reader knows full well these bones belong to no beast. And the rhetorical inversion of the natural order of such events, that is, putting the feast before the slaughter, places the emphasis on the horror perpetrated there. A horror whether in the midst of war or in the seeming peace of Ithilien. Sam knows the nature of this feast, but Frodo sleeps on in ignorance, dreaming dreams of comfort that he will not recall. Okay, so that's it for now. We'll go on to chapter 8 next week, and hopefully before too long, in December at any rate, we'll see the book, hit the bookstores or the distributors or etc. And any of you who want one could have it. If anybody here is watching this and would be interested in having me on a podcast or something like that to discuss my book, I'd be perfectly happy to do so. I've done it a few times already, and I don't think I've made a total fool of myself. So in any event, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.